gang, welcome back. It's time to start plastering. So you saw this wall, I'd chucked some plasterboard on last time. I've now done the ceiling in here and then this first wall. I'm using 12.5mm plasterboard and 25mm PIR insulation. So the PIR is going over and bridging all this stud work that I've put in, so it'll be a sheet over the top of all of it. And in here, next bit I'm going to do these two walls here, and this is going to be in my living room, and I'm going to have this as a cork pin board and that as pallet wood. So where I'm not plastering, I'm going to be using this shuttering ply, 12mm. I'll put the insulation on, then the 12mm ply on, and then my whatever I'm putting as my surface, and then the rest of it I'm gonna plaster it all. That gable end's gonna be pallet wood as well. So let's crack on and get some boards on. There we go, all the plasterboard is on, looking nice. All I've got to do now is get a bit more plywood for this end section, and there's a bit missing there, but other than that it's all done. Now I've screwed my boards on using these plasterboard screws. You want them so as they grip the paper and just pull it slightly in, so when you feel, you can't feel the head of the screw, it's slightly below the surface. And you want, around the edge you're meant to have one screw every 200mm, and then in the middle one every 300mm, and then on the ceiling around the edge every 200, and in the middle 150. But I have gone a bit mad on some of these bits up here. This was the first wall I did, can you tell? And around the windows as well, I've taken the 45 off just to soften this edge a little bit. That's the hole where my log burner flue is going to be coming out of. And when I've put these boards on, I've marked the bottoms where the timbers are, and then mark them at the top as well. You can run a pencil line down and zip them up, bang in the right place then. And I also measured to the centres of the horizontals as well, so I know that distance I can mark those on. And then this is the spray adhesive stuff, spray foam, and that is useful for bits like this. So I've got no decent fix in here for putting these bits up. I've just got the odd bit where the timbers come up here, so I've used the spray adhesive on the insulation first and then a bit on the plasterboard as well. Put both those up and then just held them on with what fixings I have while it goes off, and it is pretty good stuff. It is solid once it's gone off, and I've also used it for the insides of my cheeks, because these are just straight onto the walls. There's no stud work behind here, although on this one I did run a roofing batten down here so I can attach to both sides, which worked quite well. And then I've also, as I've stuck these on, I've put a timber down there, and then battens across to wedge it either side while the foam goes off. Oh, and this bit as well, I've got the back of the plasterboard here because that's a waste bit from the gable end the other side. Now I looked into this, and because these say on this side, on another bit it'll say use plaster other side only, but the paper is exactly the same, and as long as you haven't got joints in the paper, apparently it doesn't really matter, you can use the other side. I've also got a few of these blue boards that are soundboard, and that's just because I got them out of skips, and it's the same thickness and it doesn't really matter, so chuck them up. Love me some freebies. And then cutting wise, Stanley knife, as you saw in the video, works really easy. You just cut the paper one side, break the board, cut the paper the other side. This jab knife is good for cutting in your sockets and stuff. Normal wood saw is good for cutting it as well. If you got to do like an L shape, obviously you can't do that with the Stanley knife, so you have to cut up one side with the saw and then Stanley the other side. And this rasp is really useful as well, just for rubbing the edges down if you're slightly too big. Gun on these corners as well, and just square them all off with that. Happy days. So all I need to do now is put scrim tape on all the joints so they're held together, and my corner bead on all these corners. Now, I bought special 135 corner bead for the edge of here, and then I've got normal 90s for where I've got 90-degree corners. So get them put on, and plasterboarding stage is done. So this scrim tape is just like mesh tape that basically acts like fiberglass fibres doing the fiberglass, and just stitches those joints together, and then the plaster will stick to both sides, really help bond it together strong. So put that on all the joints and up all the corners and everything like that. Anywhere where you want strengthening, basically. Put them across there, and then corner bead, measured and marked that, and then cut it at an angle with some snips both ways. Break that off. And put the corner beads on these. And like I say, I've got the 135 corner bead for these bits. so it finishes it off just nice. I'll get the rest of these on and then I'll give you a little tour around the finished result. So that's all my corner beads on now, looking nice, and my scrim tape in the corners and across all the joints and everywhere, looking nice and smart. In here I've done the ceiling, because that's going to be plastered around that window, but the walls in there are going to be tiled, so I'm going to put PIR insulation again and then tile backerboard instead, ready for tiling. The back boxes I've used are drywall back boxes, so they just push in and then they've got little tabs here that push in that way and hold behind the plasterboard. And I've put some stop bead around this hole up here and down here as well, in between the plastering and the boards, just to give it a nice edge to go up to. It's just 3mm plastering stop bead, and I've run that down this bit here as well. Still need to put some ply in that bit, but all the plasterboard is on. We're ready for plastering. Can't wait to get it plastered, it's going to look different then. You might notice this big tree trunk that's appeared in the middle of the room as well. This is a cherry tree from the local woodsman, and this is going to be the structural post for my space saving stairs that are coming down here. So next episode I should think will be the plastering, and then hopefully get onto the stairs. So stay tuned, subscribe, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.